If you want to catch more fish, and who doesn't, then you need to leverage technology. And I'm not just talking about a fish finder, because after all, we know that a fish with a pea-sized brain can easily outsmart most of us. So let's go back to basics and understand what it takes to get into that little pea-brain mind of a fish and understand why we caught them in this place at this time with these weather conditions. And the good news is, I think I've found the optimum technology solution that allows us to do all that. But before we get into that, let's go back to the basics to understand the information we really need to track these evil fish. And that takes us to the subject of a logbook. Do you have the discipline to do those every day? Every time you go fishing? I don't. Thank goodness my buddy has been better at doing this. But if you don't have the discipline to fill it out and fill it out completely and include all the data to do analysis on, then you're kind of screwed. And the analysis is hard. Every one of these entries is in eaches. And so how do you aggregate those things together to find trends when you're just looking at static text in a spreadsheet or notes scrawled on a pad or something like that? It's impossible. There's a lot of things out there that impact fish. Holy mackerel, you got all these environmental issues over here. You got where it is, what the structure is, how deep it was, what kind of fish you're going for, what do you use, what's a lure, what's a rod, and all the environmental stuff, it changes with time. You know, the barometer doesn't stay in the same place all day long. The wind direction changes. The wind speed increases. Water temperature changes. The flow, especially if you're in a tide or on a river, that's going to vary. And it's going to vary day by day and sometimes minute by minute. So how do you track all this with the instant you catch a fish? That's the challenge. There has to be a better way. And I found it. I started using the Angler system back in August, and my catch rate went up. Angler, spelled A-N-G-L-R, no E, consists of 3 components: a very competent and robust free application, a hardware tracker, and a back-end dashboard. And the best way to explain those components is just to show you their commercial, and then I'll take you into how I've used this to do that analysis that made me more successful. Roll a commercial.
Combining the Angler app with online Logbook, you'll have the knowledge to recognize patterns that'll put you on fish faster in the future. The Angler tracker connects to the app and automatically captures these variables for you directly from your fishing rod. So with the phone in your pocket or glove box of your boat, you can just focus on fishing. The Angler tracker uses smart sensors to automatically count every cast and mark waypoints for every location that you've hooked up on a fish. To confirm a landed catch, just press the button on tracker one time, and it's going to mark a catch pin, sourcing local weather and water data to that catch location. You can dive deeper into what you've captured on the water by subscribing to the Angler Logbook. This tool is the only product on the market that displays all of your fishing variables in one place, automatically building a lifetime log of your catches, trip data, and memories on the water, helping you to break down the details that'll put you on fish faster the next time you're out.
Red on the rod with the tracker. So if I'm successfully able to land this guy, I'll push the button there to record the catch. He feels like a good one. Okay, I got him in the boat. I press the button, and that should add this fish to my fishing log. While that tracker button is pretty cool, you don't need it to get the benefit out of the system. You can do everything in the free app. All your trips are there. But the true power is when you subscribe to the dashboard, because that's when you can see the dynamics that time introduces across your catches. And so let me take you in to show you how just a normal dumb guy uses that dashboard right now. So when you open up your Angler dashboard, you end up here on the trips, and it's just kind of a nice overview of where you've been. You can see that I fished a little bit of Cherokee, but mostly here on the coast over the last year. What I'd like to do is immediately go over to the Environment tab, and that's going to show my results across the lifetime of my fishing season. So I like going into the custom range. I'll pick this year because that's when I started to use it. And let me go to August, because I know that between August and September, I pretty much only fished in one place. And immediately, the dashboard shows me some critical information. First, it looks like the top producing wind direction for me is the southwest wind. And I've got the barometer. I do better on clear days. I've got the moon. I can see the air temperature. I'm not sure that really drives much, but it's interesting to know. But the barometer and the wind direction, those are huge. So with that, I'm saying, okay, now let's go do a deep dive into those trips to see how the fish were reacting to everything. And so that's when I click on the trips tab over here on the left, and all my trips come up, and let's just sort them by date. Now you can get a map on here, and we'll just zoom into the coast because that's where I've been doing most of my fishing. And let's just take this first trip. You can see I had a great day. I caught 7 fish on that day. It's a spot I call the highway, where I've had the very good fortune of being able to launch off private property. Once you open up a trip, boy, the world opens up and you can see some interesting stuff. So let me show you the details of this particular trip. Here you can see all the fish I caught, all the fish I missed, and down below are the environmental conditions that occurred. And this is where we can get that trend data that all those point-in-time apps leave out. The green part here is the tackle. I basically just use live bait all summer, so that's not really interesting to me. But let's look at this first fish I caught. You know, he was a nice one. Just go look at the point-in-time information. You can see I can take a little selfie and it goes in here, but I can see the specifics of what was going on with the weather when I caught the fish. Now again, point in time, what I'm interested in is what was going on from the macro perspective. So you can see that the weather changed, or the overcast changed from partly cloudy to clear. Air temperature started to flatten out a little bit. But more importantly, look what's going on with the barometer here. It hit an inflection point and started to fall. In addition, the wind speed looks like it was just starting to pick up, and the wind was consistent out of the southwest. Okay, that's pretty good. That was a point in time. Let's go over here to the right, where I caught these 3 nice redfish and missed the 3 others. So let's go look at this guy. Look what's going on with the barometer. It dipped, it hit a bottom, and then it changed. So maybe a changing barometer is something I need to pay attention to. The wind speed also had a slight change, and the wind is now coming from the south for all these fish. These were all caught when the wind was coming from the south. And this fish right here in particular was caught right when the wind changed. Well, we all know wind pushes bait. That's going to move things around a little bit. Okay, so was this a one-off or is this a consistent thing? Here's the third trip about a month later. I only caught 3 fish on this day. And so let's go look at what's going on environmentally. So looks like it was consistently clear all day long. And let's just click on this guy right here. So it was a flounder. I have a hard time catching flounders. But the air temperature had a little bit of a change, but check this out. Look at what's going on with the barometer. Again, caught him right when the barometer flipped over to start going south. And I caught the next one when there was another big change in the barometer where it took a dip. Going down to the wind speed, I was bottomed out, very calm, and then it started to go up, and that's when I caught this guy. But I caught him when as well as this flounder, when the wind changed direction. Okay, I think you can get the idea here. Now, how this ties in to the day-to-day use of the app is significant. So I can take the information that I derive from looking at these trips in the detailed view and come up with the pattern for the different places that I fish. And then I can use the app, because I can go in there and I can click on the upper right-hand corner, and it's going to show me what the conditions are hour by hour. And I can be at the right place when the wind changes, the barometer changes, and things like that. And that way I can nail these fish by positioning myself in these great spots. Here's a quick fast forward through the app. I set up the trip. I decided I wanted to go up to that spot that I'd marked previously, and the app's going to take me directly there, just like my fish finder would. And something cool, I opened the satellite view and someone had been there before me. So I'm addicted to this thing. That combination of app plus dashboard has been huge in terms of increasing my ability to catch fish. Do you need the tracker? No. If you've got the discipline to pull out the smartphone every time you catch a fish and punch the button, you get the same information. But the tracker just makes it a lot easier. So I recommend you guys check this thing out. If you've used the Angler Tracker before, throw a comment down below, and I'll try and get a hold of the tracker guys to find out what their improvements are going to be for next year, and we'll do a different video on that. Thanks.